The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Oh boy, my hair is short. Hello there, my name is Ron Chuckett. Welcome to the program for this 15th day of May 2025, Thursday. PGA Championship starting at Quail Hollow. Yes, I have somebody involved with that. For those of you going to the Digital Dice Con this weekend, have yourself a great time. Today we got the White Sox and the Red Sox from Fenway Park. The White Sox are in first place. Surprise! As we get started with the second half of the season, second day of the second half of the season. The Red Sox are 4.5 back and really are a surprise. They're a 500 club at best, I think, when all is said and done. But that means that's not where they are now. They are above 500 and still above the Yankees. Cleveland and Detroit are also in the mix because it's the American League that seems to be where we're going to get the big race and not the National League. Well, you just never know when all is said and done. But we close out this week with the White Sox and the Red Sox on a Friday night at Fenway Park. Can't get any better than that, no? As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1956. Today from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts, it is the Boston Red Sox and the Chicago White Sox. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. So Tom Brewer gets the call for Boston. It is 79 degrees. The wind is blowing off the monster or in from the monster at 10. Left center field. How you doing, Big Dave? Brewer is 8-6 on the replay. I doubt he gets his 19 wins, but his earned run average is almost a full run better than it was in real life at 269. Tom is 25 years old, fastball at 86, and a ground ball pitcher. How you doing, John? Last time out for Brewer was pre-All-Star game on the 7th of July. He beat Baltimore 10-6 that day. 9 innings, 155 pitches, 9 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned. He gave up a homer, walked 5, and struck out 4. He does have 2 shutouts on the year. A 3-hitter of Cleveland on June 11th and a 2-hitter of Kansas City, if you can consider Kansas City a major league club, on May 2nd. Overall for Brewer, 133 2/3, 101 hits, 50 runs, 40 earned. He's allowed 3 homers. He's walked 70 and struck out 77. Here's a lineup he'll face. Sammy Esposito, who had a good game the last time we had the White Sox on, leads off at third. Nellie Fox, who had a very good All-Star game at second, will bat second. Jim Rivera will play right and go third. Minnie Minoso, who led off the All-Stars for the American League, cleans up for the White Sox in left field. Larry Doby in center will bat fifth. Sherm Lawler, who had a big home run too, in the All-Star game, behind the plate, batting sixth. Walt Dropo, old Red Sox friend, at first, goes seventh. Louis Aparicio at short, batting eighth, and Jim Wilson, over from the Orioles, will bat ninth. Brewer can give you 130 pitches. Defensively for Boston, Billy Klaus is a 6 at third. Don Budden a 6 and a 7 at short. Billy Goodman a 5 and a 7 at second. Dick Gernert is at first. He is a 5. Ted Williams, who's only played 58 games, is a 4 and a 4 in left. Jimmy Pearsall a 9 and an 8 in center. And Jackie Jensen is a 7 and a 7 in right. Jensen homered, by the way, in the All-Star game. Sammy White is an 8 and a 7 behind the plate, and Brewer an 8 on the mound with a 988 fielding percentage. Esposito steps in at 204, a home run and 6 RBI. Brewer starts this one off with ball 4. So decent-sized crowd at Fenway on this Friday. Again, a day game. Imagine that. So the White Sox are 44 and 30. This is game 75 for them. And for the Red Sox, this is the first game of the second half of their season. They are 41 and 36, which means that this is game 78. Nellie Fox at 304, 3 homers and 33 RBI. He likes the number 3 a lot. He's got 3 triples and 6 doubles. That is up the middle. Budden has it. Only play is to first. Gerner is there, and Fox is retired. Esposito moves up on the fielder's choice. For Jim Rivera, Jim at 269, 2 homers and 24 RBI. Struck him out. So Brewer gets the K, a 1-2 off-speed pitch in there at the knees. And now I'll bring up Minnie Minoso. Minnie at 293, 14 homers and 54 RBI. We've talked a bit in the recent past about underrated or underappreciated players in baseball history, and I think Minoso certainly qualifies as one of those. Minnie pops it up. Budden on the grass at short will make the catch, and that will retire the side. White Sox leave a runner on with a walk, no runs, no hits, no errors, and after half an inning, no score. So the righty, Jim Wilson, who's been here since May 22nd, gets the start. He's 34 years old, fastball at 83, making his 9th of 21 starts. That, by the way, I believe is his Red Man Chewing tobacco card. 2-2 on the replay with a 5.84 ERA. His last start came on the 8th, so 5 days ago. It was against the Tigers in a 4-3 win. He did not figure in the decision. 7 innings, 124 pitches, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He allowed a home run. He walked 4 and struck out 1. Overall for Jim, 49 in the 3rd innings, 55 hits, 35 runs, 32 of them earned. He's allowed 8 homers. He's walked 26 and struck out 26. The Red Sox, he beat the Red Sox on June 9th, 16-8, although he gave up 7 runs. Here's how the Red Sox will line up. Billy Goodman is at second. He'll lead off. Billy Klaus will bat second at third. Ted Williams in left will go third. Dick Gerner cleans up at first. Jackie Jensen in right will bat fifth. Jimmy Pearsall in center will go sixth. Sammy White behind the plate will bat seventh. Don Budden at short goes eighth, and Brewer on the mound batting ninth. Wilson can give you 130 pitches. Defensively for the Chisox, Minnie Minoso a 9 and a 7 in left. Larry Doby a 7 and a 3 in center. Jim Rivera a 6 and an 8 in right. In the infield, Esposito is a 6 at third. Aparicio, even at 22, was a tremendous defender. He's a 10 and a 10 there. Nellie Fox a 9 and a 10 at second. And you wonder why the White Sox were a good team. You look at that up the middle. 10, 10, 9, 10. And Doby at a 7 range. Not a great arm, but a very good range. Walt Dropo is a 4 at first. Sherm Lawler an 8 and a 7 behind the plate. And Wilson is a 6 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. Billy Goodman hitting 271, no homers, 6 triples, by the way, and 19 RBI. And Goodman goes the opposite way to third. Esposito a long way across to Dropo. Goodman's running, but he's out. So 1 away for Billy Klaus. Billy at 282, 5 homers, and 34 RBI. That is a ground ball to Wilson. Right up the middle, throws over to Dropo, 2 out. Ted Williams, here's why he did not play in the All-Star game Tuesday. He's only hitting 281. 8 homers and 28 RBI. It was whispered in the papers for those covering the American League in Washington this past week that maybe if Ted spent a little more time in the batting cage and not so much with the fishing rod, he could have been there. Just saying. Pitch to Ted is a base hit into center field. Doby will grab it on a hop. Williams turns to the press box and shows a finger or two that may or may not be in the middle of his hand. Just saying. Dick Gernert is hitting .259, 9 homers, and 34 RBI. Wilson deals. Gernert pops it up. Left side. Esposito and Aparicio converge. It's Esposito. Tony makes the cover save. No, I'm sorry. Samuel makes the catch, and that will do. Red Sox get a hit, and they leave a runner on after one. No score. So Doby, Lawler, and Dropo to face Brewer here in the second. How you doing, Paul? It is 72 in town here, which means it's probably in the mid-50s in Hot Sarah, right? Doby at .283, 9 homers, and 46 RBI. Brewer starts the second. A little slasher down to Gernert. Has to wait between the hops and makes the play. 1 away. For Lawler, as we said, Sherm homered in the All-Star game. Warm and muggy. 72 here. Sherm hitting .298. 3 triples, 3 homers, and 37 RBI. Lawler rips this one into left. Ted will let it bounce in front of him, which is the right play. And that's a single for Lawler. Here's Dropo. Walt at .265. 4 homers and 23 RBI. That is into left field. Back goes Williams. He retreats to the wall and will make the catch for the out. A lot was made of Ted's defense, as in it wasn't very good. Although he has a better fielding percentage than Jackie Jensen does in right. But I mean, he wasn't there to be a Gold Glove left fielder. Much like Wade Boggs in a few years, being the proverbial great hitter, but was perceived to be a bad fielder. I mean, no one was going to give Wade a Gold Glove or anything, but he could certainly hold his own at third, just because he wasn't George Brett or Mike Schmidt or Craig Nettles. Aparicio at .245, Louis, is 2 homers and 29 RBI. That's into center field. Pearsall moving over, and Jimmy will make the catch, and that will do. No runs, a hit, no errors. Bottom of the second here at Fenway. Chicago and Boston scoreless. So Jensen, Pearsall, and White to face Wilson here in the second. Jackie, who homered in the All-Star game, .294 overall, 13 homers, not including the All-Star one, and 58 RBI. And Jackie draws the walk. So the leadoff runner for Boston is on. Jimmy Pearsall at .266. 7 homers and 34 RBI. My good friend Andrew Martin, who writes does a Substack, I don't think it's a Substack on Medium. He writes articles for Medium. Also does some YouTube stuff for the Monterey Bay Soccer Club, football club. Had a good piece today on, look, if you're going to talk about putting Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame and Shoeless Joe Jackson in the Hall of Fame, I think you got to make a case for Eddie Seacott as well. And I agree with that. One of the best dead ball pitchers. Pearsall, by the way, a 12-game hitting streak. I'm late to the damn sock hop. Looks like a mismatch. Depends on when you need to do laundry. Pitch to Pearsall. There's a fly ball, right center field. Rivera, that ball is still rising. Jim is going to have to look. He got there and made the catch, and Jensen has to go back. Sammy White at .261. 1 out, by the way. 3 homers and 41 RBI. So if all you got is mismatched socks, then it's time to go to Target and buy a 10-pack. Pitch to White. There is a base hit up the middle. Doby fields it on a hop. Jensen over to third. And the Red Sox have runners in the corners. And 1 out for Don Button, hitting .248, 5 homers, and 38 RBI. I'm sure I'm not the only person to do this. You got laundry day coming up, and you don't want to rinse out a pair of holy boxers or whatever it is, and so you go to the store and you buy underwear or buy socks so you don't have to do the laundry that you have. I've done that. Pitched a button. There's a pop-up Aparicio by the bag at second. And there's 2 out. I mean, it's just such a guy thing to do, don't you think? Tom Brewer with 2 out here in the second, hitting .191, no homers and 3 RBI. That is a slow ground ball to Dropo. Wilson hustles over to the bag. Dropo flips it to him, and Brewer is retired. And that will do it. So no runs, a hit. The Red Sox have left on 3. After 2, no score. You just break out your grampy panties in cases like that. Yeah, absolutely. You find that. I mean, you got to do your laundry in a couple days anyway. And you can't believe you ran out of tidy whities. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? You could go and do laundry. Jim Wilson hitting .300, by the way. A homer and 4 RBI. But no. It's just easier to buy stuff that isn't so holy. Pitch to Wilson. There's a fly ball to center field. Pearsall going back and all the way to the wall. That's .420 back there. That was a pick and a poke, but it's a long out. Here's Sammy Esposito. Opening 9 for Brewer. 37 pitches, 2 1/3. A hit, a walk, and a strikeout. The walk with Sammy Esposito's. Think of them as your alternative jersey for your schedule to wear on Thursday. There you go. It's your City Connect uniform. And you get to choose the city. See, the Red Sox are going with a green monster lookalike for their City Connect this year. Pitch to Esposito. That's ripped in the left field, and Williams will make the catch. So that was right on a line, and Ted is there. 2 out for Nellie Fox, who's 0 for 1. The thing is, you don't want to have any teenage boys if you're doing that, because then you make it okay that they'll never do their laundry. Every day will be alternate jersey day. Pitch to Fox. Ground ball to Goodman. Billy throws to Gernert. Nellie's retired. That will do. After 2.5, no runs, no hits, no errors. Chicago and Boston scoreless at Fenway. It's hard to say what the Arizona City Connect uniforms are, since they seem to have something different each day to begin with. Mark Unger isn't here. Haven't the Orioles broken out the orange pants again to go along with the orange tops? Then again, the Orioles got swept at home in a doubleheader yesterday. Billy Goodman is 0 for 1. Jim Wilson's opening 9, 39 pitches. 2 innings, 2 hits, and a walk. Canada League saves his holy socks for Sunday games. To finish up the point with a kid, not only do they have alternate jerseys for every other day, they all smell like Axe body wash or body spray. Ugh. Pitch to Goodman. In the left center, Doby waits for it. Or Fox. I got caught up. That wind is blowing right off the pike at 16, in from dead center. So 1 out for Billy Klaus, who's 0 for 1. Wilson's pitch. There is a ground ball to short. Aparicio waits between bounces, throws to Dropo, and Klaus is retired. The cat not happy again. Ted Williams may or may not have shown a finger or two to the press box his first time up. He singled. And he rips this one into center field for a base hit. So apparently Ted was waiting for some stream love before starting to hit. His average is now up to 289. Dick Gernert, 0 for 1. you're not a member of the Action PC email list, you probably should do that. Some monster sales going on right now. And I believe new patches for the football and the baseball game. Pitch to Gernert. Struck him out. First for Wilson. He got him to chase an 0-2. Breaking ball, and that'll do. No runs, a hit. The Red Sox have left on 4. And after 3, no score. So Rivera, Minoso, and Doby to face Brewer here in the 4th. Jim struck out his first time up. Popped up. White to the screen. Makes the catch. 1 away. And so we'd like to thank the Vegas Golden Knights for participating in the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. The Edmonton Oilers have moved on to the conference finals. And so the Vegas Golden Knights get a copy of the home game. What home game they get, I don't know, but they get a copy of it. And you think that was it for Golden State with this run? Minoso is 0 for 1. Mini swings a ground ball to third. Klaus has it over to Gernert. And Minoso's running, and he is out on a bang-banger. Goodness. Taking only 20 minutes. Oh, 2 outs. Haha, we haven't quite gotten there yet. Larry Doby's 0 for 1. Poor run. Brewer deals, and Doby hits a slow ground ball down to Gernert. Doby not running that fast. Gernert takes it to the bag, and now we can say after 3.5, no runs, no hits, no errors, it's the Red Sox and White Sox are scoreless. Can't do laundry right now. Ted has all his bats in the dryer. How you doing, Triple G? So here are the standings. You saw the Brooklyn-Milwaukee game yesterday, and the Dodgers playing 7:33 ball. Amazing. They're on a pace to win 110. There isn't anyone else close. If Brooklyn loses now to anybody but Milwaukee, it is 78 Yankees. In the American League, there are 5 teams within 6 games. The White Sox in first at 44 and 30. Cleveland 2.5 back. The Tigers 3 back. The Red Sox 4.5 back. And 2 games in hand on the Yankees, who are 5.5 back. Jackie Jensen walked his first time up. That is up the middle. Aparicio on the run. Throws to first. 1 out. How'd you shoot yesterday, Triple G? If I remember correctly, Triple G was about to go play some golf on the prairie. Jimmy Pearsall is 0 for 1. He draws the walk. For Sammy White, who's singled, one of the 3 Red Sox hits. They've left on 4 through 3, and the White Sox have left on 2. White swings a ground ball to Fox. Nelly can't get it. It got past him. Pearsall will hold at second. Nelly dove but couldn't get there. And so it's first and second, 1 out for Budden, who is 0 for 1. Wednesday is golf day. Yep, shot in 83. Well, Triple D doesn't want you to know that it was a 9-hole course. That's pretty good. 83 on a 70, or what's the par? That is a fly ball left center field. Bonoso moving over and makes the catch, and there's 2 out. Par 72. That's very good. 11 over. Good job. Tom Brewer is 0 for 1. So if the Dodgers end up losing the pennant, and you just never know about these things, I mean, that's why we play the games, you would have to call it, if a Dodger collapse happens in 56, a bum rush. 2 out for Brewer. 2 on, popped up. Lawler takes off the mask into foul territory and makes the catch, and the Red Sox have left on 6. Since when did we turn into 1984 here? No runs, no hit, 1 hit, and no errors. We go to the 5th in a scoreless tie. 2 bad holes, otherwise you played well. Didn't you lose a bunch of balls last week? So Lawler, Dropo, and Aparicio here in the 5th. Sherm singled his first time up. How you doing, Jamie? I forgot. You're in Ireland, right? Jamie watching after his day of work. Pitch to Lawler. Sherm, it's a ground ball to Goodman. Billy Wades throws to Gernert for the out. 1 away for Dropo, who's 0 for 1. Walt, hard ball to Budden. Absolute from his knees throw to Gernert for the out. So Budden robs Dropo of a base hit. And Brewer's thrown a 1-hitter with 2 out in the 5th. Here's Aparicio. Louis is 0 for 1. And he draws the walk. So 2 out for Wilson, who can actually hit. 6 for 21 now in the replay. 0 for 1 today. Aparicio not a threat to steal. Wilson swings. Slow chopper to third. Klaus goes across the way to Gernert. Wilson's running, but he is retired. Goodness, 73 and sunny in town. Halfway home, no score. We've had nice weather, too. If you joined us late, here's how we got here. It's going to take forever to read this game recap. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for Boston. No runs, a hit, and no errors for the White Sox. Wilson, 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. Brewer, 5 innings, a hit, 2 walks, and a strikeout. That was just riveting, Cody, wasn't it? I laughed, I cried, I gave Dave Cook more money. Again, that's the game recap for you. Jamie's had great weather in Ireland. We've had a very nice week. I don't know what it comes out to in Celsius, but high 70s, nice breeze. Billy Goodman is 0 for 2. Wilson has thrown 68 for his opening 18. 4 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. And Triple G found 1 out of bounds and 1 where he looked like me trying to chip. Pitch to Goodman. And Goodman hits a slow roller to Fox. Nelson gets in front of it, throws to Dropo for the out. We haven't had a lot of pitchers' duels. Billy Klaus is 0 for 2. And there's another ground ball to second. Fox has it, throws to Dropo, second first, same as the first. So 2 out for Ted Williams. And there's a bunch of people trying to get their undergarments in the washer and dryer, and Williams is blocking their way. He is singled twice in this one. He's 2 for 2. And he draws the walk. So 1 on and 2 out for Gernert. Dick is 0 for 2 with a K. Pitch from Wilson. Gernert up the middle. Fox won't be able to get that one. Doby plays it on a hard hop, and Ted is into third. So runners on the corners. 2 out for Jackie Jensen. who is 0 for 1 with a walk. So the Red Sox threatening here in the 5th in a scoreless tie. Pitch to Jensen is a ground ball to Fox. Nelly goes to Dropo, and Jackie is retired, and so are the Red Sox. Again, did we just turn into 1984 with this Red Sox team? They've strained 8 through 5. No runs, a hit, no errors. And we go to the 6th here at Fenway, no score. So Brewer, 18 batters deep, 67 pitches, 5 innings, a hit. He's walked 2 and struck out 1. Esposito was one of those walks. He's 0 for 1. That is ripped past Button into left field. Williams cuts it off in the alley, and Sammy holds with a single. Just the second hit for Chicago. Nelly Fox is 0 for 2. Brewer, a 19-game winner in real life. 8-6 on the replay. Pitch to Fox. That's a bunt. Brewer has it, throws to Goodman covering the bag, and Nelly puts down the sacrifice. So Esposito on second, 1 out for Jim Rivera, who has a 7-game hitting streak. Greetings from the northeast of Ohio, home of the most epic collapses in sports history. Do they sell them by DVD? I see they moved the cod. The World War II submarine is now in dry dock. I gotta watch the video on that. Was there any particular reason they took it out of Lake Erie? Pitch to Rivera is a fly ball right center. Back goes Pearsall into the triangle, and Jimmy makes the catch. And Esposito was halfway down. So Pearsall pretty much almost pulled a Torrey Hunter and nearly fell into the bullpen. 2 out for Minoso, who's 0 for 2. See Cavs season highlights. The Celtics won last night without Jason Tatum. Knicks have another chance to put them out of their misery tomorrow night. Pitch to Minoso. There is a bait. No, Goodman with a good play behind the bag. I thought that was getting through. Billy blows the trumpet, throws to first, and we remain scoreless after 5.5. No runs, a hit for the White Sox, no errors, and it's Chicago 0, Red Sox 0. So Pearsall shaking off the cobwebs after trying to do a handstand by the bullpen. White and Budden to face Wilson here in the 6th. Jimmy is walked. He's 0 for 1. Pitch to Jimmy. There is a ground ball to first. Dropo will not make a good throw to Wilson, and Pearsall's going to reach. It is on Dropo, his first error of the year. You don't even have many pitcher's duels. And in fact, oh no. Dropo hit Keith Olbermann's mom. It's into the seats. She's like a magnet. She finds this stuff all the time, and Pearsall moves on to second. We haven't had many pitcher's duels. And Wilson's not a bad pitcher. Don't let that 5.30 ERA fool you. Sammy White has singled twice. He's 2 for 2. So Pearsall, the first run of the ball game. Todd B. is watching his language and talks about ships as opposed to something else. Pitch to White. Sammy hits a high ground ball to third. Esposito looks Pearsall back, throws to Dropo. And for the out, Jimmy will hold 1 away for Budden, who's 0 for 2. And Todd B. gets a cookie for not swearing on the stream. You can reach into your own desk and give yourself a ginger snap. There is a ground ball to Fox. Pearsall to third. Throw to Dropo's in time. Bud's now 0 for 3. So 2 out for Brewer, who is 0 for 2. Obviously staying in the ballgame. Wilson deals. Brewer A ground ball to Aparicio on a lot of hops. Louis Patient throws it to first, and the Red Sox get a runner on third and cannot bring him home. No runs, no hits, and an error. 1984 night continues at Fenway. They've left on 9, and after 6, no score. So Doby, Lawler, and Dropo to face Brewer. This looks a lot like the Edmonton-Vegas game last night. 1-0 in overtime. Doby is 0 for 2. Fly ball the opposite way. Back goes Williams. 10 to the scoreboard. Makes the catch. 1 out. Sherm Lawler 1 for 2. Got himself a single. Brewer's pitch. There is a ground ball to Gernert. Brewer headed over to cover the bag, and he does. 2 out. Tom Brewer needs a run of support. He has done everything but bolt the barn door closed in this one. The Red Sox start the day 4.5 behind the White Sox. Walt Dropo was 0 for 2. That is a ground ball to short. Budin over to Gernert. Stretch time, no score. With a scoreboard full of bagels, we go to the bottom of the 7th in a scoreless tie. Top of the lineup for Boston, Goodman, Klaus, and Williams to face Wilson. 27 batters deep. Wilson 100 pitches, 6 innings. Figured he'd be more efficient than that. 5 hits and 3 walks. And a strikeout. Billy Goodman is 0 for 3. May come in under the 2 fake hours. We'll see. This is certainly going to be a case of the first run probably wins it. Pitch to Goodman, and there is a slow chopper to first. Dropo waits for it, underhands it to Wilson, 1 out. Don't need a pitch clock for this one. We're at 38 minutes into the stream and in the 7th inning. Billy Klaus is 0 for 3. Wilson deals. And that's a base hit into center field. Doby will make sure that Klaus only gets a single. 6th hit for Boston. Here's Ted Williams. The White Sox have not retired him today. He has singled twice now, has 50 hits on the year, and drawn a walk. Wilson's pitch. Williams. Ground ball to first. They might get 2 out of this. Dropo makes an error. They get nothing. Dropo, who lived in Connecticut after his career was over, came up with the Red Sox, has made 2 errors at first. Too many chaperones at the sock hop. No one is scoring. Did they put some paper mache over the sides of the bleachers or something like that? Dick Gernert is 1 for 3. He's got a single and a strikeout. Red Sox again, yet Dropo droped the ball. So the White Sox first baseman has 2 errors on the afternoon. Klaus at second, Williams on first. 1 out for Gernert, who is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. Lawler reminds Wilson that there's still no score. Gernert in the shallow left center. Well, more left center than shallow. Doby has it, makes the catch. Klaus will hold. There's 2 out for Jackie Jensen, who's walked. He's 0 for 2. So Wilson due up second in the 8th. Let's see what the White Sox do. Pitch to Jensen. There's a ground ball to Fox. Nelly goes to first, and the Red Sox again don't score. They, again, 1984 night here at Fenway Park. They have left on 11 runners. No runs, a hit in the air, and after 7, it's the Red Sox -5, the White Sox nothing. So Aparicio pitcher spot and Esposito to face Brewer here in the 8th. Brewer is throwing an absolute gem, and his offense has thrown up an absolute stink bomb. Aparicio is 0 for 1 with a walk. Brewer starts the 8th. He drops one down. This is going to work, I think. Gernert fields it, and Aparicio was standing on first base with a big old grin on it. Gernert was trying to get that to go foul, and it stayed fair. And so here's Jim Wilson. Klaus and Gernert playing for the bunt. If Wilson stays, he's 0 for 2. Todd B. trying to get banned. Too bad 1956 didn't have Bob Stanley. We could end this by 9 innings. Oh, trust me. This Red Sox pen, to paraphrase, is some kind of terrible. And Ron Northey will pinch hit. So Ron, as the infield plays back, as a pinch hitter, has a home run and 3 RBI, hitting 188 overall, 263 for Northey, 2 homers and 5 RBI. The first run of the game is on first base in Aparicio. Pitch to Northey. That's a base hit left side. Williams will pick it up. Aparicio bluffs his way around second and holds. For Esposito, Sammy has singled and walked. He's 1 for 2. 27 batters deep for Brewer. 92 pitches, 7 innings plus. 4 hits, 2 walks, and a strikeout. He wants a double play ball right now. Brewer deals, and Esposito loads the bases with a walk. For Nelly Fox, who is 0 for 2. And the infield in a scoreless game has to play in. Pitch to White and Brewer have a word. Tom says, I'm good. Fox will break the tie as he singles to left. Aparicio scores. Klaus wasn't quite sure what was going on, and it's 1-0 Chicago. For Jim Rivera, who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Brewer deals. Ground ball to Klaus, so they're going to try for 2. They're going to throw the plate. The throw to White is not in time, and it's 2-0. What were you saying about Bob Stanley and this being over by 9? Here's Minnie Minoso. And Brewer says he's good to go. You could go with Porterfield if you needed to, or Ike DeLocke. So the base is loaded, nobody out, and a 2-0 game now. Chicago leads. Pitch to Minoso. He walks home a run. Thanks, Todd. Thanks a bunch. So the bases remain loaded in a 3-0 game now for Larry Doby. Oh, goodness. And we're going to stick with, can't go with Parnell. He's going tomorrow. They stick with Brewer. Pitch to Doby. Struck him out. And finally, there's 1 out. Great. Now this will last until 57. For Lawler, it was 1 for 3. Double play gets him out of the inning. But the White Sox already have 3 in on the board. Bob Stanley went back in time. Back to the future, right? To possess Tom Brewer. And all of a sudden, Lawler, 1 for 3. Ground ball to second. Goodman. Gonna try for 2. Budin for 1. Gernert for 2. And they finally get out of it. But not before the White Sox put up 3. On a couple of hits and a lot of walks. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Sandy Consuegra coming in to pitch. Don't know if he would get the 2 innings or not. He's due to bat third in the 9th, and they did not double switch. Sandy is 36, 2-3, a 2.92 ERA, making his 22nd appearance of the year. Fastball pitcher, 81, an extreme ground ball pitcher. Sounds like a Stephen King novel. Stephen King's a huge Red Sox fan. And the name of this horror story novel, The Palm Ball. Oh, we'll just throw a palm ball and get out of the inning. The Palm Ball. It never works. Rated R. No one from New England ever admitted. Consuegra last pitched on the 3rd in an 8-7 win over the Tigers, which he got the win. 2 innings, 25 pitches, and a strikeout. He has thrown 24 2/3, 27 hits, 11 runs, 8 earned. He's walked 3 and struck out 5. So you want to hear me do my best, movie trailer impression here? Pearsall, by the way, 0 for 2 with a walk. In a world where major league teams have excellent bullpens, then there's the Boston Red Sox. Pitch to Pearsall is a slow chopper to the mound. Consuegra over to first. 1 out. Dropo didn't dropo that one, did he? Here's White. Sammy is 2 for 3. He has singled twice. That is into left. Minoso will wait for it. That wind, no, Aparicio. The wind knocked it down. 84 degrees. It's a gorgeous day at Fenway. Wind blowing in from left center at the parking garage at 16. And Gus's 41 action PC replay. The Splinters hitting 333 after 28 games. That's tough. You could do that. And Williams hit 406 and 41. I think the tougher one is, can you get Brett to hit 390 and 80? Can you imagine that film guy ordering stuff at the drive-thru? In a world full of Whoppers, I'll take a quarter-pounder deluxe meal. Large with a Diet Coke. Sock hop turned into Carey. Don Budden, 0 for 3, 2 out here in the 8th. And the wife wants a Filet-O-Fish meal with a frozen Fanta blue raspberry and 2 apple pies. Pitch to Budden is a fly ball to right. Rivera going way back there. Is he going to run out of real estate? No, he makes the catch right up against the wall. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the 9th here at Fenway. Brewers staying in because why not? It's 3-0 Chicago. You close your eyes and I sound like Batman. Boy Wonder wants the Hot Wheels meal, not the Barbie one again. Dropo is 0 for 3. Did you people think I sound professional? Brewers starts the 9th. Dropo, who's had a bad day, into left. Williams will make that catch, 1 out. 3 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the White Sox, both by Dropo, and they've stranded 6. For the Red Sox on 1984 night, no runs, 6 hits, no errors, and they have left on 11, making me, 14 years before I was born, pull out my hair. You ruled. I mean, look, I've lost all my hair over the course of this game. I had a full head of luscious hair, and then because the Red Sox have left on 18,000 runners, just take a look. It's all gone. Aparicio is 1 for 2. Louis has a single, a run scored, and a walk. Pitch to Louis is a fly ball, shallow left center. Williams running in, rides a Schwinn, makes the catch. So 2 out. Let's see what they do with Consuerga. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts on the replay. Chicago 3, Boston nothing. And it will be Bubba Phillips. Bubba is 28, 188 with an RBI as a pinch hitter. Overall, 258, 2 homers, and 6 RBI. My luscious locks lost to the Red Sox failure. Damn you, Boston. Damn you. Todd B used to do a come over, but now your comb refuses. Oh, I keep it short for a reason. It's so much easier to take care of. 2 out, Brewer deals. And there is a ground ball to first. Gernert will wait, make the play, and that will take care of the White Sox in the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Old friend Ellis Kinder coming into pitch. Trying to lock down the save. After 8.5, 3-0 Chicago. So Kinder, who knows this ballpark well, making his first appearance with the White Sox. He came over from St. Louis. He is 42. Pitched for the Red Sox for a long time. Throws a fastball at 84 and a ground ball pitcher. He, in real life, 3-1 with the Chisox with 3 saves and a 2.73 ERA. 29 2/3, 33 hits, 2 homers. He's walked 8 and struck out 19. Parallel League's dad said that he used to have long, wavy hair, and then it waved goodbye. All right, who can hit a Brewer? Who can hit a righty? Norm Zouchin. Nam is hitting 267 as a pinch hitter with a home run and 2 RBI. Overall, 212. A homer and 4 RBI. So 3 to tie, 4 to win. Kinder starts his effort with a base hit into left field. Minoso throws it back in. For the Red Sox, that is their 8th hit, or 7th hit. Billy Goodman is 0 for 4. Kinder's pitch. A slow chopper up the middle. Kinder, Fox for 1, Dropo for 2. You gotta know how the infield bounces, and Kinder knows that. Here's Klaus, last chance saloon for Boston. He is 1 for 4 today. Todd was gonna shave his hair and look like Mr. Clean, but I will give my wife excuses for more household chores for you. Did you know that he actually has a first name? Not Todd, but Mr. Clean. I forgot what it was, but I saw it recently. Pitch to Klaus. There's a chopper to Fox, and he's going to eat his green eggs and ham in a box because the White Sox have shut out the Red Sox 3-0. No, Dropo didn't Dropo with it. A bit of redemption. You sound like someone at NBC for the Olympics. And Bob laced his skates and didn't fall again, and somehow made the Olympic speed skating team, despite the fact that his 8th grade girlfriend dumped him over lunch. Nope, 2 hours and 39 fake minutes. Gus picked the winner. Most of you did. 2 hours and 39 fake minutes. The White Sox go to 45 and 30. 3 runs, 5 hits. Arnold, I like that. Arnold clean. 3 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. And then he would say, "What you talking about, Willis?" The Red Sox fell to 41 and 37. No runs, 7 hits, no errors. They leave on 11. They left on 11 runs. The White Sox left on 6. Wilson gets the win, 3-2. Now 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 walks, and a strikeout. And Suerga and Kinder hold the Red Sox to a hit in the last 2 innings. Tom Brewer, complete game loss, 8-7, 9 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs all earned. He walked 4 and struck out 2. They want to give the MVP to Wilson. And we'll do that because no one really had to. I mean, Chicago was held to 5 hits, so Wilson it is. Cletus Clean has a nice ring to it. I'm glad that we have explored the depths of commercialness here. All right, the rest is Friday in baseball. The Pirates go into Wrigley and shut them out, 1-0. Bob Friend, 8-8. Hacker, which is what Triple G is on Wednesday, is 5-7. Billy Verdon, 2 for 4 with a triple. Philadelphia beat Cincinnati 9-3. Kurt Simmons 6-5. Lawrence falls to Brooks Lawrence 7-5. Ennis 3 for 5 drives and 3 and 2 doubles. Kansas City beats Baltimore 6-4. Kellner 4-2. Zuverink 5-6. Oh sure, skis ass 4 for 4 with 2 RBI and a double. Washington beats Detroit 7-4. How about that? Ramos 6-3. Paul Foytak 8-5. Roy Sievers coming off his All-Star appearance. Hits his 21st, 2 for 3, and drives in 4. Cleveland pounds New York. Pounds them 10-1. Early win 11-6. Sturdivant falls to 2-5. Gene Woodling hits his 5th. 3 for 5 and 2 RBI. Doubleheader. Well, at some point, Brooklyn was going to lose. Brooklyn and Milwaukee split. So Don Newcomb won their 14th straight game. He beats Crone 6-0. And the nightcap, Milwaukee beat Brooklyn 9-4. Joe Adcock, 4 hits and a home run, is 13th. So Burdette 6-6, Erskine 9-2. And the lead out in the NL is 8.5. Last but not least, in 10, the Giants beat the Cardinals 6-5. Littlefield 1-3. Little 0-1. Kenny Boyer 3 for 5 hits his 21st. So as we go into the weekend, Chicago up on Cleveland by 2.5. The Dodgers with that split are up 8.5. When we're with you Monday, it'll be Cleveland and the Yankees. Herb Score and Don Larson. Enjoy the weekend, and if you're going to the con, have fun with that. Until Monday, I'm Ron Chuckett. We will talk to you. Yeah, 8.5 is likely still unsurmountable. Yep. So we'll see. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. So long.